Hey, it's me, RMB. This character is much anticipated, beloved, and needs no introduction. You already know Aston Machan because, well, you're in an Aston Machan channel right now. Today I'll be talking about why you should pull for Aston Machan. Please note that this is my first time making a quote-unquote guide like this, so expect some mistakes throughout the presentation. This presentation will discuss pull for Oshi, which are the benefits for people that pull for her because it's their Oshi. Oshi related stuff which are not related to competitive stuff like her career story, her personality, etc. etc. The aptitudes, which are her main stats, what bonus stats she will give, her unique skill, and whether it's a good unique skill inheritance, her career races and secret events that gives bonus stats, skills, and other useful events, her normal and gold skills, if she's even good in champions meeting, and affinity for legacy building. Alright, for the banner. If you're an Oshi for Machan, she's strong in sprints, especially on the upcoming Sprint Champions meeting, which is CM21 or Capricorn Cup. The reason why she's strong in sprints is because of her build in skills like groundwork and high spirits, which also makes her easy to build as a front runner without any RNG. Not only that, but her unique skill will also trigger perfectly at the start of the late race, letting her take full advantage of the speed and acceleration boost that it provides on a track that is 1200 meters long. Unfortunately, that's the only good thing about her, as her unique will lose its usefulness once you reach the mile and 1600 meter threshold, as it becomes too late to activate and she loses some of her innate skills. Extreme Oshi players like me will probably still make her run in the other distances to show their love for Machan. If you're not an Oshi player and think that Machan is a must pull, first, there's no such thing as a must pull Uma, in my opinion, and second, there's currently only like 3 Sprint Champions meetings as of recording this video. Alright, for Oshi related stuff, her story in the game will be sad. Like visual novel, key visual novel type sad. But there will be some times when she's playful like her super spy fixation. Her voice is sweet and angelic, she's super cute, she can be treated like a premium Bakshin in terms of easy event point farming, as she too only runs in sprint and miles, I said. However, with the implementation of independent training, there's no point anymore. Right, for the aptitudes, she's a turf track runner, specializing in sprint and a little bit of mile, with a style of front and pace. Her dirt and other distances are not so great, so you need a lot of pink sparks and a little bit of block to reach A. Even though she has an A in pace chaser, you generally want to run her as a front due to her gold skill taking the lead, and as a sprinter because of her other gold skill. Her unique work well if she is in the front, so making her a late surger or end closer is highly discouraged. For stat bonuses, 20% speed and 10% guts, which is good. The speed bonus is helpful in general. You can build her with some gut support, but due to the latest scenario Grand Live, you're pretty much locked with the 2 speed, 2 wit, 1 light halo, and 1 flex deck kinda like this. There's not much deck flexibility now, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. Her unique skill, Silent Letter, states increased ability to break out of the pack with a strong desire to linger in fans' hearts when pressured toward the front with 400 meters or less remaining. It's a simple condition where if an Uma might pass her, she just says "nah-uh" and quickly increases her velocity and acceleration. To go into more detail, her condition activates when there's less than 400 meters remaining, she's in first or second place, and she's an overtake target for more than a second. Basically, you're an overtake target of another Uma if that Uma is near your field of vision and is about to catch up with you within 15 seconds. The target speed gives you a 1.25 distance units and an acceleration gives 1.5 acceleration. The 0.3 acceleration immediately forces her to top speed while the 0.25 target speed increases instantly, which raises her maximum ceiling. This is useful for 1200 meter races as it activates exactly at the final spurt, which is 400 meters. Which is why on a standard mile track that's 600 meters, the final spurt begins at 533 meters. When you reach the 400 meter mark, she's already at her top speed. Not only that, because she's already at her max speed, the 0.3 acceleration value drops to exactly 0. So you're only getting the 0.25 speed buff, making it a drastically weaker unique skill. Longer races like 1200 meters is even worse as the spurt begins way earlier at around 650 meters remaining. Since the trigger requires you to be in first or second and to be overtaken, and you're running a sprint-focused Uma on a long track, other Umas with specialized long-distance acceleration skills will blast past you around the 600 meter mark before the skill can even trigger. For inheritance, Her inheritance is weak for other Umas as she is reduced to give a 0.05 top speed and a 0.1 acceleration for 3 seconds. An inherited 0.1 acceleration is incredibly weak. For the same skill point, you can get much stronger white skills like angling and scheming or redshift. Since the skill needs you to be in first or second and have another Uma close in on you at the 400 meter mark, the skill won't trigger at all if your front runner already has a massive lead or if she already has been taken before 400 meters. Basically, there's no point of taking this skill on anyone other than Machan herself, as she is an ace meant to run in sprint tracks except on certain circumstances like League of Heroes. Her career races are pretty standard for sprint, and I think you can get the secret events which are Machan ni Ushiete and Machan ni Moite or Tel Machan and Tel Machan 2 respectively, just by placing first on most of her career races. I feel like you have to do additional races just to get these secret events. You can get these bonus stats and skills just by winning against Vodka and Scarlet. Shifting gears in general is a good and reliable mid-race speed skill. However, it's specifically used for mile races which Machan is not good for because again, she's specifically a sprinter. Her other skill, Productive Plan, also falls in the mile races and offers a slight velocity increase. Unless you're building Machan for mile races, these skills are useless to get. You can still get a decent stat bonus which is plus 20 on all stats except for stamina and an additional 60 skill bonus if you successfully meet both the requirements. Her other event, Cooking Memories, is just noting that she is a charming Uma. Which to that I say true because she is charming and is useful for Grand Life since you need to increase the friendship gauge to orange as early as possible. For innate skills, Machan has one of the absolute best kits for a sprint frontrunner as she has almost everything a top tier frontrunner needs right out the box, saving you from relying heavily on support card RNG. First off, she has groundwork. No debate there as it is one of the best skills for frontrunners. Other noteworthy skills are sprint corners for a slight velocity increase and frontrunner savvy and wet conditions for groundwork activation. Her gold innate skills are taking the lead and in high spirits. Taking the lead is important to reach the front as it is important for frontrunners, obviously. Not only that, but also helps in activating groundwork, making her almost impossible to beat early in the race. In high spirits, it triggers in the second half of the mid-race, right before transitioning into the late race spurt. It raises her velocity sharply, allowing her to establish a wider lead before the final sprint begins. For Champions Meeting viability, like I said before, she's only good at Sprint Champions Meeting because of her built-in innate skills. This is perfect for the upcoming Sprint Champions Meeting, CM21 or Capricorn Cup. Since the track is 1200 meters long and the late race activates at 400 meters, her unique will perfectly activate. In high spirits, is a nice velocity increase before the late race here. Currently, as of now, there's only 3 Sprint Champions Meeting which are CM21 or Capricorn Cup, CM29 which are unique activates a little late, and CM41 which are unique activates perfectly. If you're wondering, Valentine Machan will be available before CM41 arrives. Also, more meta sprint runners will appear later that will power creep her like Cheerleader Bakshin. Like I said, there's only a few sprint CMs currently, so unless you're going to also make her run in other distances like mile because you like her, she's gonna be a lot less useful in terms of winning Champions Meeting and being a menace than before, which results in being remembered as a failure for both you and Machan, which is why you should pull for characters you enjoy, as I said. Lastly, for the affinity. For affinity, currently on global, the top 3 Umas with the highest affinity with Machan are Mihono Bourbon, Marutensky, and Karenchan in that order. Bourbon and Maro are tied at 24 while Karen is at 23. On JP, Calston Light O has the highest with 26. If you're wondering, Daiwa, Scarlet, and Vodka are in 18 to 17 respectively. Kinda ironic considering she's the rival. So, conclusion. Should you pull for Aston Machan? If she's your Oshi, the answer is yes. She has an extremely good frontrunner skills right out the box, and she is an absolute beast at 1200 meter sprint tracks like the upcoming Capricorn Cup. Just keep in mind that outside of sprints, her unique skill drops off hard, her inheritance value is weak, and future meta picks like Cheerleader Bakshin will eventually give her some serious competition. But meta comes and goes while loving your favorite Uma is eternal. Thank you so much for watching my very first guide. Leave a like if this helped you out and let me know in the comments if you have any questions and I'll do my best to answer. And as always, please treat Aston Machan well. Signing off and recording.
引いて引いてトントントン